Your Majesties, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for returning. Trust you and yourself well, and you're loving yourself and others like always. Many thanks to all of you for the support you give to the channel. Thank you so much to our channel members, to our anonymous supporters, to all of you, my esteemed subscribers. You're loved, celebrated, and of course appreciated. All right, so today I want us to talk about what is happening in Burkina Faso in the health sector. I said we should have this discussion because of the recent happening in the motherland, what happened recently to the neighboring country, Burkina Faso, to Nigeria. The former president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, died in a clinic in London. And, a lot of controversy here and there. People had what to say. And some people do not see anything wrong with him dying in a clinic in London, and quite a good number of persons have something to say about that, and they're not happy that a former leader of an African country, would die in a clinic in London. What happened to the clinics in his own home country or in the continent of Africa? Doesn't mean there is no other clinics in Africa that he can go to for treatment, that he had to fly himself to London to go die in a clinic in London.
This is the London hospital that Buhari died. Now this hospital in London that Buhari died. Make una take a look at this hospital now. Does it mean that this hospital now, we know if we build this hospital in Nigeria? This hospital where all of us, they watch like this, doesn't mean that we cannot build this hospital here in Nigeria. How much did they only use to renovate ICC Center, International Conference Center? How much? How many billions? That this hospital now, how much can this hospital cost that we know if we build this hospital that our president has to go abroad and die, and they go bring our president in a cargo? Do you know the funny part? The doctors, the medical professionals where they work for this hospital, now Nigerians. Now Nigerians, many of them, allegedly, many doctors and nurses and medical professionals that are working in this hospital where our president died in, allegedly, now Nigerians, Nigeria people. So waiting remain again now. Doesn't mean that we don't have money to build this hospital. We have, right? Doesn't mean that we don't have money to buy medical products, right? Now we have qualified doctors. So what are we waiting for? What is stopping us to have good qualified doctors? It's embarrassing that our president died abroad, or our former president died abroad. After ruling a country for 8 years, you couldn't build a hospital that would take care of your health. Now you have to go to London and die.
The former president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, passed away today, the 13th of July 2025. Sadly, at the age of 82, he was pronounced dead at a clinic in London where he was receiving treatment for an unknown sickness in the last week. And today he was pronounced dead by one of his close aides. Buhari served 2 terms as the president of Nigeria. The first term was between 1983 and 1985, and the second term was between 2015 and 2023. Previously, Buhari spent 7 months at an hospital in London, UK, around 2017. He was being treated for an unknown illness. They will not tell us what the sickness is. They will not tell anybody what the problem with his health was. And there was a lot of conspiracy theories around the illness or the disease or whatever it is Buhari was being treated for. We now probably would never know what it was, but let's wait and see. I suppose we'll find out. As long as he died in London, believe me, before you know it, you know how the system works. They will throw the news. Someone will inject the news in the system, and we will find out what was wrong with Buhari, or what illness or what treatment he was receiving, and why we were not told throughout all this time. But today, the man is no more. So ladies and gentlemen, join me to wish him a rest in peace. Now, I understand a lot of people might not be particularly friendly or used to Buhari. I understand that. I understand that most of you might not have had a good experience with Buhari. I understand that, but this is somebody that is no more we're talking about. So please put aside your differences, put aside your hate, and just join us in wishing him a happy rest in peace. It is a very sad news, but hey, they said we are all on borrowed time on this earth. Everybody comes and everybody will go. And it has become the turn of Buhari to go, and he's gone. So may his soul rest in perfect peace.
That's why I say I'm going to draw your mind to what is happening in the health sector in Burkina Faso. Now, Traore is building 55 hospitals in Burkina Faso, 50 hospitals and 5 state-of-the-art hospitals. And this was one of them I showed you last time. I think we have a short about it on this channel. I showed you that in one of our discussions. One of the state-of-the-art hospital that was completed. And the reason why Ibrahim Traore is doing this is because of situations like this, like what happened to the former president of Nigeria. You can't be a leader of a nation. You expect your citizens, when they are sick, they should attend the hospital which you provide. And then when you are sick, you fly, you cross waters, you fly the air, cross waters and continents to other parts to go get treated because you feel you have the money. So the ones that your citizens are being treated in, you don't care so much about it because you are not treated there. This is what Traore is correcting. And that is the joy that I have. I'm going to leave the clip for you soon so that you can see clearly. A gigantic hospital. Of course, in collaboration with some world powers, with China. But it is Burkina Faso hospital. Okay? It is in Burkina Faso. All the equipment needed for all specialist hospitals across the world is there. There will be no need for you to travel anywhere. He is doing this in this small country. Then we have a country like Nigeria, a big country like Nigeria, the giant of Africa. The hospitals are nothing to write home about. That celebrities do not even treat themselves in hospitals at home. Politicians do not treat themselves in hospitals at home. What a shame to us as Africans. This is exactly what the Sahel leaders are correcting. And that is why, I don't know if that video is up. If you think that the Sahel leaders committed a crime of democracy or broke the rule of democracy, rather, yeah. If you think they broke the rule of democracy, so they've committed a crime, then we love that crime of theirs. They should keep committing the crime. They should keep breaking those rules or that law of democracy. Because if you have looked at the achievements that the Sahel nations have achieved right from when they took over power up until this time, and you still feel like they shouldn't be in power, then I think something is wrong with you. And it is painful, it's unfortunate that majority of the learned ones, the older ones, are not happy with what is happening in the Sahel. It is the youth that are happy with what is happening. It is unfortunate. I'm not saying all the older ones, but those you look up to and think that they should be okay. I don't know if the present political powers had bribed them, or they are scared of saying something so that they do not get caught. Because if, like I told you, we are all being watched, whatever we say. But the truth is that it is the truth of what is happening that we are seeing. And we are saying this because we love our continent. We love our country. We love the motherland. We are not saying this in any way to look down on any leader or to destroy the reputation of any leader. It's still for the development of the continent of Africa. Calling us, calling each other out. Trying to make us understand that we can do better. We can do better. And that is why these Sahel leaders expose the hypocrisy of democracy, Your Majesties. Okay? So, African leaders dying in foreign land is something that as African youths, freedom fighters, Pan-Africanists, we have to join our voice and correct our leaders, correct our political leaders. That needs to change. That needs to change. So why should Nigerian doctors, political leaders fly out to go get treatment when they have good doctors in Europe and America. Why not bring back this your doctor and build that hospital in your country? But the truth of the matter again is that even if these doctors return, would they be paid well? One of the reasons why these doctors leave Africa and migrate to America and Europe is because of poor payments. They are not being paid well. This is the reason why they leave. We have nurses who know their job. They are doing well in Europe and America. They are not in Africa. Why? Because of the pay. The government is like the government use them and do not pay them for their job. And then Europe and America entice them. I'm using the word enticing because they make the money such that you cannot just say no. That is why our nurses, our doctors in Africa are migrating to Europe and America because of the pay. Of course, who do not need a good pay? I need a better pay for myself and my family. I need the money. They need the money. So we are not going to blame them. It's not their fault. It's the fault of the leaders in the nation. Because you can't tell me that African nations cannot have a good hospital, a reputable hospital, a state-of-the-art hospital for their, state officials to get treated in, but they have to be flown out all the time. It's unfortunate, Your Majesties. So I'm going to leave you with this information. The video clip of one of the hospital completed. Remember, it is 55 hospital across Burkina Faso. All will not just be in Ouagadougou. We have some in Bobo Dioulasso, others in other places, other major cities, and in Burkina Faso. And 5 of them state of the art, 50 normal hospital for everybody to be attended to. I'll leave you with this information, so I'm going to see you in my next one. Until then, love yourself, love others, stay safe, stay positive, always, Your Majesties. Bye for now.